I'm Maica reporting for Kids First, and today I had the pleasure of speaking with Aasif Mandvi and Rob Minkoff about the upcoming animated martial arts comedy, Paws of Fury, The Legend of HANN, which comes out in theaters July 15th, 2022. Aasif Mandvi is an actor and producer known for $1 Million Arm, Evil, and The Proposal. Rob Minkoff is a producer and director known for The Lion King, Stuart Little 2, and The Haunted Mansion. Today we are talking with them about Paws of Fury, The Legend of HAHH. Maica from Kids First. Thank you for talking with me today.
Hey, how are you? Nice to see you.
I'm great. How are you?
Good.
You have mainly worked on live action films and TV shows. So how is working on an animated project like Paws of Fury different for you?
Well, when you work on an animated show, they give you like a sort of a basic rendition or sort of drawing of your character. And so you kind of know, it helps you sort of figure out like, okay, how, at least inspire you, like how would this cat, talk or express themselves and so that's kind of fun. And then the animators will use what you're doing sometimes in the booth and use your facial expressions and stuff to like further animate the character and make it sort of feel more like you. And so you kind of work together in that way with the animators. And you are all by yourself in a booth often. Gabriel Iglesias and I actually did get to spend a day together, just improvising stuff and playing around. But mostly you're by yourself. You're not with the other actors. So I got to see the movie, like you did, like for the first time, and got to see all the other performances. And so it was kind of super fun.
That seems really interesting. You're basically like creating an entire character. Like it was draw for you, but you are like bringing that character to life.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
It was really comedic also, which brings me to my next question. Your character and his friend Chuck bring comic relief to this movie. So are you a bit of a comedian in real life, or did you have to practice being funny for this role?
I mean, some people would say that I'm a bit of a comedian in real life. So I think, it depends. Like, I've done some comedy. So I feel like I, was able to find like, and the writing helped, like they've got great jokes and great sarcastic sort of like quips and one-liners and things. So that really helped us as well in terms of finding the humor.
I found myself definitely laughing, especially with your character, because like you said, those sarcastic remarks they catch you off guard sometimes, and it brings a certain reaction that is really enjoyable.
Oh, good. Well, good. I'm glad you liked it.
And if there's one message you want the audience to take away from this movie, what do you think that is?
I think it's got a wonderful message of sort of overcoming prejudice, accepting differences, cats and dogs working together. If cats and dogs get their act together, then maybe we all have a chance, Right. So I think that it's got that wonderful message of like sort of community and working together and coming together and overcoming our differences. And I think that's really important. And people, I think also it's just incredibly funny, like you said, and entertaining, and it's got great action sequences and Sam Jackson playing a samurai,
Yes.
So it's got something for everyone.
That's a great message. And I think audiences will take that away. And it's something that we need in this world today.
Yeah, I agree.
Thank you so much for speaking to me today. And I hope everyone enjoys the movie as much as I did.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for talking with me today.
You're so welcome. Thank you for having me.
So I've read that this movie's inspiration was the 1974 film Blazing Saddles. So what was the significance of using cats and dogs to portray the storyline instead of people for this animated film?
Well, I think that, an animated film like this really is meant to be a fable, right? Which is a story about animals, but it makes these stories and the themes of the story very universal, something that everyone can understand and relate to. And so, the idea that a dog would become a samurai in a world of cats, and of course, they won't accept him because he's a dog, I think is what makes this sort of unique and a great way to tell a story that I think is, teaches a very important lesson for the world that we're in today.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I feel like everyone can relate to it because at some point or another, someone has tried to fight for something that they've wanted. And the use of these animals, it doesn't have to be just one person, it can be anybody.
Exactly. So I think because of that, we can all relate to the story. in the same way.
Exactly. I've also read that both Norman Steinberg and Mel Brooks were a part of Blazing Saddles. So how did having these two gentlemen working on this film contribute to its authenticity?
Well, Mel Brooks is such an incredible, comedy icon and genius, who I've been fortunate enough to get to work with before this film.
Mhm.
Having his sort of stamp of approval obviously is very meaningful to all of us working on the film, because we were trying to make a movie that was very much capturing the kind of style of comedy that he did so incredibly well over his whole career in many of the movies that he made. So this sort of irreverent, tongue-in-cheek kind of parody is really was his stock in trade, and that's the kind of style we wanted to recreate for Paws of Fury.
It definitely did seem like a comedy to me. I found myself laughing a lot, and also watched it with other people, and we definitely laughed at the same times. And it's a lighthearted and enjoyable movie for anyone.
Thank you. That's great to hear, because that's really what that's what we set out to make. So it's nice to hear that maybe it's working.
Yes. The animation in this film is also full of color and impressive details in the characters and backgrounds. So how is this animation in the film and the characters different from other projects that we've worked on?
When you make an animated movie, you're always looking for the specific style for that particular film that captures and embodies the story and the storytelling. It's such an important element, and it's really the first thing that you do when you're creating a film like this, because style and sort of the visual language of the film is so key to how you're experiencing the story. So we tried to look at it, there's just a world of different kinds of styles and approaches that we could have taken, but this was the one that we felt best emphasized the story we were trying to tell.
I really enjoyed the story, and the animation played a key role. All the fighting scenes and the action scenes really seemed authentic to the story, and I really enjoyed it.
Well, that's great. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for talking to me today.
You're so welcome. Thank you.
Thank you so much for talking with me today. I just talked with Aasif Mandvi and Rob Minkoff about the new animated action movie, Paws of Fury, The Legend of HANN, which comes out in theaters July 15th, 2022. Make sure you check it out. I'm Maica reporting for Kids First, and make sure you like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss my next interview. See you next time.
Paws of Fury, The Legend of HAHN.